Welcome to The Gist with Mo45673.
Zulus on the Ramparts is a Victory Point States of Siege game. Basically, you have these four Zulus who are coming in and attacking your base over here. Now, you win if you kill all of them, or if you get to the card in this deck that says that the cavalry arrives, basically. And then when that happens, you see like various things on the board, and you tally up your points, and the rulebook tells you, how well you did. Now, the game moves actually pretty simply. First, you do the MP phase, which simply means draw a chit from this cup. You then look at the chit, and this one says the right horn moves 2 spaces. So basically, you look at the right horn, which is over here, and then you move this guy 2 spaces, 1 and 2. Now, implementing the chit is called the Ibutho phase. Again, those are called Ibuthos. All 4 of them are called an MP. Then you discard that chit. Now, there are all sorts of chits that can come up. This is the advanced one I just showed you. This one's called Regroup and Retreat. Certain things happen. Building a blaze, either the hospital or the storehouse will go on fire. Indulangve forward. That's one of the Ibuthos here. It's this one, the Indulangve. So they move forward for a thematic reason. Rifles overheat. I think it means you can't like fire a volley or something. Every time one of these ones come out, I have to flip through the rulebook to find what it does. It sort of breaks the flow of the game, but the rulebook is pretty well laid out, so it's not that big a deal. But if you played this often, then you would remember. Anyhow, after that phase comes the action phase. So basically the MP phase, as you can see over here, that means draw a chit. The Ibutho phase, implement chit. This game is primarily a hand management game. In the action phase, that's when you really do the hand management part of the game. Now, you're allowed to do only one action during this phase, so you have to choose it well. But if you choose it well, I mean, certain cards like allow you to take another action, for example. So there's something you need to understand. In your hand, you're going to have 2 kinds of cards. You're going to have character cards that look like this. They have a image, and sometimes they have metal and all sorts of text on them. Then you have volley cards. Let's start with what a volley is. It's one of the actions you can take on your turn. And as you can see, if somebody is close, meaning they're on a space 1 or even further in, then you roll 1 die. Medium means on space 2, and long means on 3. After you apply the volley, you basically roll the number of dice, and then you look at this easy to follow chart right here, and it says if you roll any of the dice, roll 1, 2, or 3, it's a miss. 4 is a miss unless the building is on fire, and 5 is retreat, meaning they move back 1 space. And if you roll more than 1 retreat, obviously they move back more than 1. And then 6 is a hit, so you remove hit markers from the bottom. And if they have no more hit markers, then you remove the last counter. So for this one, you gotta hit it quite a few times. Now, you're only hitting on 5s or 6s, so it's you gotta fire, like make sure your volleys get some good traction out of them. Now, that's one of the actions you can do, and the action cards, by the way, this is just the first one you get. The cards you start off with are easy to identify because they start off with that blue number over here. The rest are in black. This is card 5 and it's blue. So the other actions you can take are mainly using your hero cards. Hero cards have 3 states they can be in. One is in your hand. One state is available. So now, Lieutenant Shard is now available. And the 3rd state is occupied doing something. So for example, you can be occupied building barricades. I like to think that thematically, in your hand means they're resting, available means they're waiting for your orders, and occupied means they're doing something. Mainly you want to have as many of these characters available as possible, because available heroes but really how you do your actions. Now, what are the actions you can do? Now you're only allowed to do one action per turn. So the first action is you can make a hero available. Simple enough. Second action is you can form the reserve platoon. So what that means is it requires either 2 lieutenants or a lieutenant and a sergeant. You put them both here, so they're occupied. You put this guy here, and now if you get the reserve platoon volley card, basically, you can fire it. That's basically mainly what it does, and it's a very powerful card. It lets you roll a lot of dice. The third thing you can do is take an available hero. Oh, by the way, this also requires available hero. You need 2 available heroes to form the reserve platoon. The third thing you can do is take an available hero, build barricades. So for one action, you do this, and then you take this nifty little marker and you put it here. Now you can take him back to your hand if you want, but on the next turn you can use your action to build this. Now the barricade is 2/3 built. And the third time you build it, you do this. Take him back into your hand, and then you move this. So now you have like barricades there. So now you're a little bit safer, right? The third thing you can do is fight a building fire. Now, the hospital can get on fire, and the storehouse can get on fire. If they are on fire during the day, that's pretty bad. If they're on fire during the night, that's pretty good because the night brings a -1 die roll modifier to your volleys, and you know that's not good, especially when you only hit on a 6. So the buildings light up. If they're on fire, they light up the night. And the bad thing about a building being on fire is you're not allowed to shoot past a burning building. There are a couple other like minor small effects, but that's a big one. So you can actually, for one of your actions, take an available hero and put out the building. So what that means is you roll a die, and you follow this table here, which tells you what happens. So there are your die rolls all the way on the left there, and that's what you follow. The fourth action you can do is take an available hero back into your hand and distribute ammo and water. So you get rid of this, and then that happens. You start the game off with an ammo water penalty. And again, the fifth action you can do is fire a volley. There, like these cards. Now, there are a few things which should be noted. There are free actions which are available to be taken. If a hero is available, you can follow one of these things. So this one says, during the action phase, that's the action phase symbol, you can return this to your hand to perform one additional action at this time. So let's say you have, you have another hero available and you want to build barricades. So let's say it's like this. You have this guy here. You put him there on a previous turn, and you'd already built this barricade. Now on this turn, you want to take your one action, build another barricade. So you do this. And then this guy is already in your plateau available, and you want to do his return action. So you do that. You do this, and you say, I'm building the last barricade. So you do the last part of it. There. Now, building barricades is something you want to do early in the game, and then basically you never want to do it again. There is no point. Heroes will also allow you to discard, so put them in the discard pile. And you could draw 2 additional cards during the draw phase. That's what that symbol means. And this means you will also discard him, and he'll do a heroic sacrifice, which is a volley, and it's also a free volley. It's a free action. It's not one of your actions. He has to be available, but he will sacrifice himself, and you can do a pretty strong volley for that. But then he's gone for the rest of the game. Obviously, different heroes have unique abilities. After that phase is the card draw phase. Well, once you take your action, you draw a new card to your hand. So I'm drawing a card, and look at that. It's another volley card. Then you get a free make available hero action after the card draw phase. So when your hand is like this, you say, all right, I'll put him down in front of me. So make him available, and that's it. You get to do that every single round, which is good because, I mean, that one action a turn is pretty limiting. After that, you do the housekeeping phase, where you check if you won. If not, you discard down to 5 cards, and then you do it again. Now for an example of a turn. I've played about half a game, and this is where I'm up to now. Obviously, I built the barricades. I got the hospital and the storehouse on fire, and this guy is going to go over here, and then into here, and then there. This guy is really close as well. I managed to kill this one, which was on this track, and it's the nighttime. Nighttime just happened. That happens about halfway through the deck. And I formed the reserve platoon. So what I'm going to do is play through a couple of turns and you can see what's going on. All right, action one. Do the impy phase. So I drew this, which says move the chest 2 spaces. So we do that. Now this is the chest, but what happens is it stops here because when it goes into a building on fire, it stops. After that, it could keep moving. After that's completed, we move on to the action phase. This guy's really worrying me. Now, on a roll of 4, this guy will retreat, each roll of 4. Now, but this guy is big and he's about to come in. The Indulu Yangwei do have a special draw thing that lets them move, so he does have a slightly higher chance of moving, but I don't like this guy. So I am going to attack him. Since I have the reserve platoon, I can commit it using this one. You cannot fire this volley if the ammo marker is in its box or the reserve platoon has not been formed. So the ammo is available and the reserve platoon has been formed. After firing this volley, retreat the targeted booth to 1 additional box and place the ammo marker in its box. So here we go. It's a close range fight. I get 5 dice. Booyah. All right. Now there's no DRM since the buildings are on fire, so they're lighting up the night. So we get 3 hits and a retreat. Very cool. The retreat, by the way, is because the card itself, right at the bottom of the text there, you retreat the target 1 additional box. So here we go. We take out 3 of these things. 1, 2, 3. Retreat him 1 additional box. And since they used up so much ammo is now low, and somebody is going to have to distribute more. All right, then I draw a card, draw phase, and I drew another volley. Then I get to put forth a hero, so I only have 1 hero in my hand. So I'm going to put him forth. Now he, while available, he gets to he gets a guy in the north wall who has a 1/3 of a chance of blocking an Ibutho from moving forward. So we take his little guy and we put it on the north wall. So while he's available, that happens. And then we check if I have 6 or more cards in my hand, which I do not, except I have this guy out. He is available. And as you can see, he says, while available, skip the discard step, you have an unlimited hand size. So that's really great. So I don't even need to check for that as long as he's available. And then that's a turn. Let's do another one. So we start off with the empty phase, and then we choose a guy out of here. This one says the loins move 1 space. That's this guy, moves 1 space. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to have him distribute ammo and water as my action. So that, now enough ammo and water. That was it. Now I just draw a card. Ooh, special event. A sergeant or lieutenant must be available to play this card. Color Sergeant Frank Bourne. During the draw phase, discard to reclaim into your hand a volley card of your choice from the discard pile in lieu of one of your card draws this turn. Oh, wow. Since I already did the draw phase, I already drew a card, I can't use it now, but I think I'll use it next time to commit the reserve platoon again. So that's great. Now we do put forth a free hero, so may as well put Private Cook forward. And then we check for Zulu defeat. Nope. We check for hand size too large, except I have color of Sergeant Rank-Born. Do another turn. Let's see what happens. Okay. The loins move again. 1. Now we start bottlenecking into here. So the rules actually say that if your lower numbered box is occupied, then remove it. So Shice is now gone, and I take him back into my hand. Now we get to do the next phase. So I'm gonna do volley fire by ranks. Right? So it's similar to the reserve platoon one, except you don't get a free retreat. So let's fire on that booth though. Let's see what happens. There's no -1 DRM because we have buildings on fire and ammo is full. Roll the dice. Nice. A hit and a retreat. Okay. All right. So we have our hit. He loses a marker, and he retreats 1. And I used up a lot of ammo. So now we do the draw phase, but I'm going to do this guy. Discard to reclaim into your hand a volley card. So I'm going to take that reserve platoon card back. So that's instead of drawing a new card. Makes the game a tiny bit longer. Then I put forth a new guy for free, put forth hero phase, put him forth, and since, there we go. All right, let's do one last turn. I draw, and I draw this. So, man, everything moves up twice. So, basically move this one here, this one here. Not good. Oh wait. All right, now it says, like, what if they both have to move into the same space, since we have to move them twice? Well, it says whichever one's on the lower number, they're both on the same. Whichever one's the strongest, but they're both of the same strength. Then it says whichever one has the higher starting strength. So this one. Now this guy has to move twice. So we move him once, and we see if Shice is able to stop him. So we roll a die, and we see if on a 5 or a 6. Nope. So Shice is put back into my hand. This guy moves up here. And now we are in dire straits. And Shice comes back into my hand. Alright, alrighty, I gotta do something about this. Alright, I can't commit the reserve platoon. So, because the ammo is low, I gotta retreat him. This is the best card I have unless I sacrifice Color Sergeant Rank-Born. Might be worth doing. Yeah, let's do that. I'll sacrifice him. So we sacrifice him. He gives us 4 dice with a -1 DRM. Alright, so 4 dice. Got nothing. -1 DRM would have lowered that to a 2. We got nothing. Well, that was a complete waste of a sacrifice. I actually misplayed this part. That was a free action, and I had one more action to do. But unfortunately, so I'm going to do the draw phase. And I got a volley card. That's actually a really good one. Now I put forth a hero. Check that I have 5 or less, which I do. Because Born is gone, so that's it. And let's see if I lose. I got Buildings Ablaze. This is discarded in the night phase. What happens is you roll a die and you see what happens. Now both are ablaze, so one of them might be extinguished. Roll a die. 3. On a 3, Yet no effect. So, nothing happened. Okay, now I'm still alive. Still get to do something. I'm gonna fire with that volley I just got. 4 dice. Grab these dice. And I get a 6 minus 1 DRM, I get a 5. So I got 1 retreat. So basically, I have to bring him back to his path, which is the loins. So he moves back to make room, and then he moves back for the retreat, which gives me a little bit of breathing room here. That was actually better with the DRM. It was actually better. All right, that was it. Now I draw, and I got Lieutenant James Adendorf. Lets you return 3 chits of your choice to the cup, and he will sacrifice himself. And you could also use him to like distribute ammo or something. So now he's in my hand, and I'm gonna put him forward in the free hero forward phase. And now, let's see. I'm pretty excited. I didn't mean to go on this many turns, but let's see. Okay. I got Washing of the Spears. Okay, Washing of the Spears means every Butho on the lowest numbered space, they retreat 1 space, basically. So this guy goes back into the fire, and this guy goes back over here. Now, I'm going to stop here, but basically, as you can see, they're gonna keep coming in, and it gets really tight, and you really hope for the best, and it could end at any minute, and then sometimes they'll wash their spears, or they'll regroup and retreat, and they'll go back a little bit and give you some breathing room. So the game balances it really well, and it gets really tense, and as you can see, the rounds go really quickly. I did I don't know how many turns. These are how many cards are left in the deck. And one of these bottom 4 cards is the game-ending card. So, really, would have only been in our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least another 7, 8, at least another 8 rounds, and possibly another 12. But as you can see, the game goes super fast. The rules are really easy. You know, it really is a great, fun game. And then at the end of the game, you tally up points. You see. Like, for these being on fire, I would not get points. If they were not on fire, I would get points. The number of these guys, like, this is worth a lot of points, and each of these hit markers are worth points at the end of the game. How many heroes you have, not in your hand, but available, possibly occupied as well. I cannot recall off the top of my head. Those give you points. So, as the game gets close to the end, you want to make sure that you got all those like point generator things going on. I might want to use one of my heroes to extinguish a fire, like this one, because I want the points at the end of the game. Very good, and it's very straightforward. And 85% of the time, you're gonna get a really tense game going on, and if you lose, it's pretty much your fault. And unfortunately, 10 to 15% of the time, you're just going to have a guy Zerg rush right into the middle and take you out before you can even finish building a barricade. But that really rarely happens. I think it's happened to me once, and I've played this game a number of times. It's a very, very good game. And I hope that if you own the iOS app, this helps you and you're willing to give it a try. The game is fairly cheap, and it's absolutely worth buying. Gives a very, very good experience in a very short time. The only downside are the fiddly little rules that if you don't play in a while, you have to remind yourself about what these chits do on the over here. I can never remember what they do. But aside from that, it's a very quick game. It's very simple, as I just showed you, and it can get pretty exciting. So I totally recommend picking this one up and giving it a go, because you'll find, I believe, that it gives a really, really nice fun, tense experience that really draws you in.